Hi y'all, welcome back to another video. So I'm going to jump right into applying my extensions. I will be using this gel here to apply them, and then the extensions I'm using are from Après. For this design, I did want to add some length to my natural nails, but you can do whatever shape or length that you want. I just prefer long stiletto nails. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea, but that is definitely mine. So once I have these extensions on, I'm going to do a full cure in a big lamp and then get them ready for polish. Today I'm going to be using my e-file and a sanding band. If you don't want to use an e-file, you can go in with a base gel, or you can use a buffing block, or you can use Apré's Gel X Prep. Either one works. And then while I am removing the shine from the extension, I am going to go around my cuticle area very gently to seal the cuticles today. And I'm basically going to move from left to right, just making sure the extension sits flush to my natural nail. So before we get started with the full-blown nail art, we need a base color, and I'm going to be using D&D's Gatsby Goes. And this is another one. I don't think I've done a nail tutorial with this one just yet. I have a lot of polishes from the D&D sheer collection, but I typically wear these on their own, so I don't record myself using them. But I have used this solo last year, and I think I posted a picture here on the community tab, but in case you missed that, here is what it looked like by itself. I did add like a couple of rhinestones here, but you can get a feel for how it looks. And it's basically a milky pink shade. It's a really good neutral. For these, I do like to build them up. 2 coats is okay, but 3 seems to be my sweet spot. And of course, I make sure to cure in between each layer. Next, I'm going to be doing an aura nail, but I won't be using an airbrush. I won't be using a sponge. I'll be using an eyeshadow palette. So I grabbed this one here from Walmart. It was about $5, but what drew me into it is that it has a lot of neon colors, and since we're in spring and coming up on summer, I thought this would be absolutely perfect for what I need. For this, I did want it to be pink, but I also wanted it to have a soft blushing-like effect, kind of like when you wear blush on your cheekbones, how it looks very natural, but it's like, you know, cutesy. So I decided to go in with this shade here, which is called Rad. It's a neon pink, but I want to make sure that it's not too much pigment being placed onto the nail. So I'm going to be taking my ombre brush, dipping it in the eyeshadow, and then wiping off the excess on a paper towel before going on top of my nail. To get started, I'm going to take my ombre brush, angle it right at the center of the nail, and then begin gently tapping and bouncing the brush. And you'll start to see the pigment show up on the nail. And what I'm doing is moving the brush around in a circular motion, but I'm making sure to tap majority of the product right in the center so it looks like everything is dispersing outward and naturally blending. You'll notice that I didn't apply a matte top gel or a base gel or anything like that. I'm basically just tapping the pigment on top of that sticky layer that is left after you cure your polish, and that is what the pigment is gripping onto. This is super easy to do, extremely beginner friendly. However, keep in mind that all eyeshadow palettes are not created equal. I love me some makeup. I have tested so many eyeshadow products throughout the years, and I can tell you that not every eyeshadow palette on the market is going to be pigmented. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure you get an eyeshadow palette that has enough pigment in it that it will show up. And even though this one was only $5, this one got the job done. So here's what everything looks like at this point. You could throw on a matte or glossy top gel and call it a day, but of course we're gonna go ahead and keep going, but I just wanted to give you a couple of different options on designs you can do in this video. Next, I'm taking a matte top coat and I'm going to apply a thin layer of this because I will be doing an isolated chrome design. Anytime I'm working with isolated chrome, I either will apply a matte top gel or I will buff the nail. I feel like one of those two options is what makes chrome a little bit easier to deal with. So once I have this all applied, I'm going to cure it. The matte top gel is applied, so now I'm going to start drawing my isolated chrome design, and I will be using the Gen B Crazy Top Thick and mixing it with the Savvy Land painting gel in the black shade. You do not need to do this. It's not necessary at all. The only reason I'm doing it is so you can see the design that I'm drawing. The clear is just a little hard to see, but for this, the Crazy Top Thick would be all you need. Taking a thin liner brush, I'm going to start right at the midpoint of the nail, and then I'm going to be squiggling my brush in random strokes to basically make it all the way to the other side of the nail. This is very similar to the Molten silver nails that I did. You can check that out here in case you missed it. I know a lot of you guys wanted a gold version. This isn't it. I just wanted to play with a similar design, but the gold version is on its way, I promise, because I really want to do it again. This is really fun to do because you don't have to think about it too hard. You can make some of the lines longer, some shorter, thicker, thinner. The most important part here is to make sure you have a liner brush that you're comfortable with. I personally like something that's really nice and thin, but the bristles are not super long. And also while I'm doing this, I'm choosing one spot on each nail to leave a little gap in the design because that's where I'm going to put some rhinestones. The design is on all the nails at this point. It always looks crazy right here, but let's go ahead and do a cure. And now I'm going to be going in with my gold chrome. This one here is from Maniology. Since we do have a black underneath this, it is going to look slightly darker than it does in the jar. If you were to have a white underneath, it would look lighter. And then if you would leave the crazy top thick by itself, it's going to look the exact same as it does in the jar. So do keep that in mind because sometimes chromes will look slightly different depending on what's underneath it. I've actually seen people use a yellow painting gel. I haven't tried that yet, so maybe I'll do that. But basically I'm taking a silicone tool here and I'm just rubbing the chrome on top of the design. And one thing I have noticed with chrome powder is you want to take the smallest amount possible. I actually just dip my silicone tool onto the little protective seal that's in the container, and that is more than enough product. It's just a little drop to get that metallic feel. If you use too much chrome powder, it can start to look a little grainy or it will take longer to buff into the design. So start off with a smaller amount, and if you need more chrome, it's better to add it than try to take it away. You may notice I'm being a little messy with the chrome, and that's because I want some of the chrome to be in the base of the nail, and I'll explain that a little bit in a moment. But once the chrome is on, I'm taking the same eyeshadow brush I used earlier to dust the excess chrome away. And then I'm going to be grabbing a dotting tool and the Ivy Fix Gel to apply my rhinestones in those empty spaces that we left. And I'm just going to do one of each. So the pattern I did was gold pearl, rhinestone, white pearl, and then on other nails I did white pearl, rhinestone, gold pearl. I basically just made sure no matter what, the rhinestone was in the center. After I lay these down on one nail, I am going to flash cure and then finish working on the other nails. And lastly, to seal everything on in, I'm going to go in with a glossy top gel. But like I mentioned earlier, I did apply the chrome a little messy, and that is because I want to drag the excess chrome into the top gel so that the base of the nail has a gold shimmer to it. I didn't want something really bold and in your face like a glitter top coat. I just wanted a little bit of extra sparkle, and this was the perfect way to get that. So once I'm done, I'm going to do my final cure. And here are what the nails look like all done. So I really like doing a variation of the molten gold or molten silver look because it's quick, it's easy to do, and those lines do not need to be perfect. So I hope you guys found this video to be useful on basically how to get that airbrush look without having to use one. If you did find this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this. Would you give it a try or not? And of course, if you're not subscribed, be sure to do so on your way out. But in the meantime, I will see you in one of these videos here.